Olga?
I'm fine. Hello, Amelie. Thank you for joining in. I hope all is fine in Paris.
Yes, everything is fine. We are entering in the deconfinement time on Monday. So we'll take back a bit of freedom, but we are all worried about the situation right now. As you, the industry is dead right now.
Mhm.
All the countries, I mean, we are working with 65 countries. All the countries are under confinement, so the retail business is completely slow. It's actually non-existing right now. So we are all very impatient about the reopening, and we have a subsidiary in Dubai, and the mall have reopened 10 days ago, but they are definitely empty. So far the retail business is facing very big challenge, and the problem is, even if the markets are reopening, the question is, people are they going to go back into the malls or into the shops and starting back their life as it was? And I'm not sure it's going to be the case.
But how about your e-commerce?
Yes, you know, the e-commerce for perfume is quite challenging, because if people they don't they never have smelled the perfume, it's quite challenging for them to choose. However, they can order samples on our website. So all the worlds need to become digital, and the perfume world especially. But we need to find a way of letting people testing the perfume in order to order it online as well.
I know that your company takes everything very seriously. I found a wonderful video on the Facebook page,
Thank
and
you.
I would like to share it right now. Just
Thank you, Olga. Yes, it was really we have done this video in order to show people that we are taking the protective measure very seriously, and that all our, let's say, beauty advisors have gloves. For example, we are reopening our boutique in south of France on Monday. And we were talking with our director earlier about all the measures that we would implement. And one thing that is crucial, when people have to wear masks, how can they smell? How the perfumery, let's say, gonna face the reopening based on the fact that everybody needs to be protected. So there is no miracle solution. The only idea is to put, blotters on the tray and to keep distance with people. But it's quite complicated. All the industry, an industry that is really about human being relationship, about face to face, about tactile experience. So this is quite complicated.
right. And I know that you've got a lovely set, and it's beautiful, and it's the one we saw on the video as well. So and it's all about the Art Deco.
Yes, this is actually one of our sample sets for the Art Deco collection. So I'm sure, Olga, you want to discuss about the Art Deco, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. But for those who don't know much about Alexandre J, I would like to ask you some questions about the company first.
Great.
And so how old is it?
Okay, the company has been launched in 2011, so we'll be soon celebrating our 10 years, yes, anniversary. Hopefully the 2021 will be the good one. So the company has been launched by the designer Alexandre J, and really his goal when he has launched the brand was to break the rules of the perfume industry by having very sophisticated packaging and perfume that would give birth to the story behind packagings. So we are working only with the niche perfumers that are very talented, and I mean the most famous in Paris. And you have one of the Art Deco creation that has been released 2 months ago. So actually, you know, the history of the brand is around art, and this collection is really showing the DNA of the brand, which is an artistic DNA. And we wanted to pay tribute to the 100th anniversary of the Art Deco style. So we have released the 6 new fragrance that all tell the stories of the olfactive world in 1920. And this is Majestic Amber.
So I am in love with the packaging. I'm in love with the packaging because it's something you would like to keep forever.
Exactly. But the idea behind the packaging is, you know, we have a specialty, and I think we are the only one in the perfume industry to do that. We are using raw material, unusual raw material. For example, for this box that you had in your hands, Olga, it's all made of silk. Wild silk. So basically, nobody is doing some wild silk bottle. We are also using some printing technique, some other raw material like mother of pearl, crystal, and so many others that are usually not used in the perfume industry, with the aim of surprising people and gifting people.
Can I ask if there is a team of perfumers working on different fragrances for the collection, or it's just one person?
This is a very good question, Olga. And I'm sure you were wondering because you have smelled many of them, and we have the feeling that it is only one nose that have imagined and create the perfume behind the bottles, let's say. And no, it's 3 perfumers actually. So we are working with women exclusively. It doesn't mean that we are excluding men. It does mean that so far we need to have a strong connection. And Alexandre J is a man, so always surrounded by women. No, but just apart from the joke, we have been starting to work with those women since the beginning of the adventure. And what we love is the fact that they keep being talented. They keep venturing outside their comfort zone. And this is actually what we like.
I think I met 2 of them at your launch in Jovoy.
Yes, you met Amélie Bourgeois and Anne-Sophie Béagle, but we are also working with Emna Dogri from the Florali Studio. We are working with Vanina Muracele also. You met the 2 of them that were really kind to come to the event. And you know what makes you know, the product having this same olfactive identity is the fact that the brief is the same for each new launch.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Especially about the technical criteria of the perfume.
I have more questions about this very collection because, for example, I was curious about the choice of colors for each bottle, if it's connected. So, but I will speak about it later. How long have you been working for Alexandre J?
Since the beginning, I have been involved in the launch of Alexandre J, I mean the brand. So it's my baby as well.
Did they pick you or you picked them? How did it go? It's always a love story, isn't it?
We picked each other. No, actually, the story is quite funny, Olga. I was in the US and I was working for a big group. And actually, I received the proposal to come back to Paris because Alexandre J is mainly a family business. So I had the chance to come back to Paris and to open the Paris office. And in the meantime, Alexandre J was designing and creating all the bottle in 2011. So we joined our efforts and we have created, let's say, the company together 10 years ago. It was very challenging at the beginning. I have to be completely honest, because we come with a very different concept that really break the rules of the simple bottle with stickers and the carton box. We really try to add value, and especially in the fact that right now the keywords in art and the keywords in the niche perfume industry is simplicity and, let's say, minimalism. So we are completely against the wave.
Exactly. You've got wonderful bottles. I think that going to Jovoy was always a pleasure, but one of the reasons was to to be able to touch some of the bottles they keep downstairs, the awesome Art Deco and Art Nouveau style florals, floral designs, very rich. And there was one with Mother Pearl, wasn't it? Just
Yes, legacy.
awesome. Yes.
Yes, actually, we have released, we have two collections right now. The idea was really to show our know-how, but I have to come back to the roots of and the DNA of the brand. As I mentioned at the beginning, our specialty is really to play with unusual raw material. But when we have decided to launch the brand, we have realized that the niche perfume industry was very elitist, that only few people could afford to pay 200, 300, 400, 500 pounds in a bottle. So the idea was to be a luxury brand, but non-elitist brand. So it's why we have created two line of product. One that we call internally mainstream, and basically mainstream mean affordable, but still very sophisticated in terms of packaging, in terms of juice. This is niche. And on the other side, we have, let's say,
Affordable luxury.
yes, and we have haute couture on the other side with the ultimate collection, Atelier d'Artiste. And for this collection especially, we wanted to create something outstanding in terms of juice, in terms of the raw material used, and especially around the stories. So it's why it's very exceptional, because everything is about luxury, handmade, and effort behind it.
And what is born first, a wonderful bottle or the perfume itself?
Actually, the story is born first. But usually Alexandre J is very creative about bottles. He's passionate about art, about culture, with the C, big C, and different, let's say, countries visiting. So he wanted to create, let's say, 4 different concepts into a collection. So we have the historical part, for example, with Meili. Meili is inspired from the Chinese pottery of the 13th century. We have the legend with Carnival, Naya, that is talking about mermaid. And we have architectural with the Art Deco. I mean, not the one that you have in your hand, but the Art Deco made of mother of pearl resin and metal. And we have also the culture, I mean the ethnical collection as well. So with the African mask, etc., or with what we call hewa. So different subjects of what he's passionate about into wonderful bottle. And the story, of course, has been, let's say, created by Amélie Bourgeois, the perfumer, that did an amazing job on this line.
Do you have a boutique in Paris?
No, unfortunately, we have in south of France, in Cannes. And it's a boutique that we opened 3 years ago, and we have also a lot of boutique around the world, and the latest one has been opened in Dubai.
I see. Do you sell in Russia?
We were selling in Russia, but we are like introduced in all the CIS countries so far. But in Russia, we have been present until last year, and we have stopped with our partners, so we are on the way of coming back right now.
That would be marvelous, because this is the glamour, and Russian women especially, they can recognize beautiful things, and they like to surround themselves. Yes,
I've been to Russia maybe 10 times, and the brand was a very big success.
That's really good to hear. And I was thinking about your collection, the Art Deco, and it's understandable that it was launched in 2020 and was speaking about 1920s as well. But was there any other reason why this collection was called this way and dedicated to the 20s? What was the story behind it?
Actually, Alexandre J is a big fan of the Art Nouveau and Art Deco. The First World War was terrible, and after, let's say, the darkness, always comes the sun. So it was a period of creativity and a period of sensitivity. So it's how the artist have been created this art movement called the Art Deco. And after the First World War, many things, many let's say innovation came to the international scene and also in the perfume industry. So architecture-wise, you can see in many buildings present in the world that they have the Art Deco style that has been exported. It was the latest art movement exported worldwide. Not any art, let's say, movement has been spread all over the world like the Art Deco. So this is something that talks to everyone, and we are a brand, let's say, that is citizen of the world. So this is something that was very important for us. And olfactively speaking as well, René Coty, for example, at this time has been created the first Mediterranean Cyprus. We had the first also Arabic perfume. So it was a period that was really rich and full of creativity.
And now I think it's time to speak about the perfumes themselves. I just wanted to show how wonderful and colorful this collection looks. And Anjam, do you have the same collection?
No, the last collection I had was the last samples I got I have were back in 2018. So I have explored the morning oud, all the ouds and the morning musk, etc. But I haven't had a chance to have a look at
soon, hopefully.
my list. Yeah, I was going to ask, where can I explore in normal circumstances this collection in London?
At Jovoy.
Yeah.
You know, this is a wonderful store. The team is very, it's completely great. I love Holly, Ines, and Francois, of course. So I think this is the best shop for perfume in London right now, because they are not answering to any commercial trends, and they are venturing outside the commercial success. And this is what I like, finding a place that is authentic with real expert in it.
I agree. Thanks. Thank you.
My first experience was Jovoy was really positive, was a surprise, because when you look from the outside, you think that you will never be able to put your foot into a shop like this. But when you get into it and all the staff is trying to show you everything you would like to see, and then you give your samples of something that can be really, really expensive, really exclusive, you feel welcome. So this is the feeling I had the first time I went there, and we became friends later. But you're right, Amelie. They are extraordinary, and they do a very good service to every brand which is presented in the store. But can we play an unfair game now? So looking at this collection, I understand all the perfumes are wonderful, but can we have a top 6 game, starting from number 6 and arriving to number 1, according to Amelie? Or you cannot play the
my test.
Yes, your taste. It's completely your taste. You're not speaking on behalf of the brand, because you cannot, it's like babies, right? You cannot choose the favorite.
But maybe, Olga, I can share my screen as well, so you can maybe have a look of the entire collection.
Yeah, sure.
I will show you how does it look like. I think it will be better for everyone. Sorry, it will take 1 second just for me to connect myself.
No worries.
Okay, I have it actually here. So it's just
and by the way, while Amelie is trying to connect, Jovoy is shipping at the moment. So, and I'm sure they are as careful as Alexandre J while collecting the perfumes to ship. So yes, sure. It's safe. It's more than safe to buy online. And I've been buying online all this time,
And I know they are, like Ines told me, they are very careful about, I mean, Ines is a boutique director of Jovoy, and they are extremely careful about the way they are preparing orders. So definitely you can trust them 100%.
And I imagine Ines dressed in the same black dress as the lady on your video.
Yes. So let's start. So basically, I just would like to show you how the collection look like. So here we go.
Oh my God, they are so beautiful.
Yes, so you see the bottles are very nice. But my favorites, actually, if I have a top three, it starts by Majestic Jardin, the red one.
Red one, so
yes,
good.
Actually, this perfume is quite special. And you know, when we are creating a perfume, we are always giving a code to it. So the nose is always giving like a kind of nickname to the perfume. And this one was narcotic.
It explains a lot.
Because it's completely addictive. You have in it cinnamon, the cinnamon that brings some spicy effect on it. You have some sweet notes as well. And this blend is quite addictive, but I don't want to tell more because I need people to discover it. And narguilé, of course, inside. The narguilé associated to the peach gives some smoky effect that is very, very interesting as well.
I thought the smoky effect is kind of leather.
No, it's come from the narguilé, and on the top notes, also the sweet effect come from the cherry blossom. So cherry blossom, narguilé, cinnamon, and it's let's say a combination between those three ingredients that make it so special and feminine at the same time. What do you think, Olga?
I actually chose it as spring perfume for the video about the spring trends, and it reminded me well of it's absolutely for an evening going out, and I thought that it was more about leather, so it's a lady all in leather, but the one who used a sweet perfume on herself. So the and the leather mixed up with this sweet perfume, and it's summer, so it's quite hot, and a little bit of sweat, but good sweat, healthy sweat, like skin perfume, skin scent as well, and all combined together. I had this impression of something very sensual, but summery, and it can be summer in a hot country, of course, but it's definitely the combination of hot skin, leather clothes, and a sweet perfume. It's marvelous. It's really, really good.
This is really something new that we have never smelled before. And this is what I like in this collection, is that the olfactive direction is totally new. And this is really arising our curiosity because it's special.
It's special, yes. And it's in my top 10 for spring and summer.
Great. The next one is a bit fresher. And actually, I will tell you one secret, the Majestic Musk.
Majestic Musk.
And just Olga, I forgot to say that all the perfume are called Majestic. Do you know why?
No.
Majestic actually is one of the most famous Art Deco building in the world, and it's located in New York. So this is why it's called Majestic.
So Cannes is the place, is the right place for your perfumes, because it's all about cinema.
Yes,
it's about
exactly.
glamour and stars.
So the next one also is Majestic Musk, and the secret behind Majestic Musk is the fact that it can be used as a first layer, because I know that a lot of people are like practicing the layering, And I feel that this perfume could be used as a base for all layer. It's a perfume that has been created to reflect the story of the French dancer that used to dance the French cancan in 1920. I don't know if you're familiar with the Moulin Rouge.
Of course, who
The
doesn't know
Lido.
it?
Yes, so the Moulin Rouge has been created in this period, and the famous dancer used to raise their skirt and dancing like in a very sensual way. And this perfume is very sensual, very intimate. It has some iris on the top that is little bit, you know, touching your nose. And then after you have a mix between vanilla, musk, and a very little bit of iris. So it can be used as a base or like as a, let's say, a wall perfume. But definitely this is something that is quite intimate and very sensual.
I wanted to say that it smells quite elegant, but
very elegant.
But at the same time, it's not. It's not a noble lady. It's more a naughty girl. So it's perfect for a cancan dancer.
And you feel this powdery aspect of the perfume, and it's bring by the iris, because you know that the iris is, let's say, the seeds. We are using the seeds of the flower, and we are like smashing it, and this is what we call the powdery fragrance.
I feel a little bit envious with all the people who can feel musk, because I'm musk blind. So it might be even more interesting than I can feel it.
Musk is something that many people are not smelling. And today, Olga, you know that the musk is mainly synthetic because we cannot use a real one. So many perfume are using musk. This is one of the most expensive synthetic raw material. And we are using it a lot in our like perfume. I mean, in almost all our perfume, we have some musk because it helps the perfume lasting on the skin. It's the molecules are very heavy, so it has very long duration on the skin.
This is also the reason why not everybody can smell musk. Yes, because
it smells usually the skin, the raw material itself. When you have it on your nose, it's what we call the skin perfume. It smells your clean skin.
Oh, interesting. I love it. Even if I can't smell musk.
But you smell the vanilla and the powdery touch of the iris on the top.
This is absolutely a cancan girl who loves caramels.
Exactly, but it's still not too sweet.
No, it's fresh.
Flowers.
Exactly, yes. It's fresh. It's really fresh. It's a young girl. It's a young girl who dances, who's a little bit naughty. She loves sweets, but she is a dancer, so she is le gendre. Would you say it in French? Very light. Le gendre. Am I inventing the word?
Brillante.
Oh, brillante. Maybe I would need to study French. I know.
Oh, I wish I could speak Russian and all the languages, and Italian and all the languages you are speaking, Olga.
Yes. So unfortunately, the lockdown is finishing in Paris. So the routine will be back again, and we'll have less time to learn more new languages, for example.
Yes.
So let's proceed with the collection.
Next one, I think, would be Majestic Vetiver.
Oh, I love it.
I know. Actually, this is a very special perfume, and especially in the lockdown, we are all dreaming about being in the French Mediterranean Sea, or like being in Italy, or like anywhere where there is a Mediterranean Sea. And it's a tribute to René Coty that has been creating the first Mediterranean Cyprus. And it has all Mediterranean notes. So bergamot on the top. Then it's a beautiful blend between cedar, vetiver, and
you can feel earthiness, right?
Sorry?
You feel a little bit of earthiness, like
yes,
earth. Mm-hmm.
It's really aromatic. without being spicy, and it's let's say a fresh aromatic scent that is woody because of the cedar on the base note, that really brings some woody notes but really fresh. And I really love this perfume. It's really suitable for all.
I tried it in Jovoy during your launch, and I was surprised to smell in 20 minutes sugar powder on my skin. So on my skin, the sharpness of vetiver dissolves, goes away and disappears, and only the sweetness of slightly dried grass on the sun stays, and it turns into sugar powder. So it's really feminine, and
actually there is also some cardamom that brings some touch
yeah.
as well.
So, but this green note disappears on my skin.
Wow, it's surprising.
Shortly, yes, and it just stays as a very, very light, sweet kind of wind full of sugar powder, and it's so unusual. It's very unusual. That's why you always need to try it on your skin, because it can feel in a strange way.
And especially with our perfume, they are changing so much between the skin and the notes itself, that it's very important to try it first.
Do you know if it happens more with perfumes with more natural ingredients in it, or it happens also with 100% synthetics?
Actually, it's not depending on the type of molecule, either synthetic or natural. It's depending on your skin quality. We have been like studying a lot people, let's say, reaction to perfume, and this is important to know if you have like a greasy skin, dry skin, or normal skin. Because, for example, if you have dry skin, your skin is not retaining the molecule of the perfume. So this is why it's not lasting. And the skin that are quite dry prefer, let's say, notes like oud, like heavy notes. Skin that are like little bit greasy prefer to have lighter notes. And it's always depending on your skin quality, but also your skin colors, depending also on what you eat and how you live.
Do you mean that oils would be preferable for dry skins?
Yes, a heavy perfume, heavy base note perfume.
And
perfume.
And speaking about oils, do you have anything perfume oils in your collection?
No, we don't have. We are still under like a process of developing like perfume oil, but not for the moment. For the moment, we are only like doing some eau de parfum.
This is really, really nice, and I think it's competing now for my top 10 for spring and summer between red and green. And
I'm troubling your minds.
I will have to, both of them. And by the way, speaking about colors, so all the bottles are different. And was color chosen on purpose for a certain fragrance or not?
Yes, of course. Everything is always relevant with us, Olga. Usually the story is giving birth, the perfume is giving birth to the story, and the colors is reflecting the story and the notes. So for example, for Majestic Jardin, there is cherry blossom on the top, so the bottle is red. For Majestic Musk, we said it's powdery, it's white, it's like very intimate, so it's white. For Majestic Vetiver, we said Mediterranean cypress, so it's green with the vetiver, with the cardamom, with the cedar. So this is why the color is green.
But all brilliant things are very simple, isn't it?
Yes.
So we've got 3 more.
We're gonna work on the Majestic Vanilla.
Perfect.
This is one of my favorite for men, actually. And in 1920, you remember that Coco Chanel has been, let's say, setting the trend of women wearing men's clothes, right? So this perfume is reflecting this story of women that wanted to become men. And but it's a men perfume actually. It has some mandarin, patchouli, labdanum, and I really invite people that are going to watch this video to try it, because this is just unusual. This is just so special. The mix between the mandarin and the labdanum is, and it's not blending. This is something that comes with different stage. So first you have this mandarin, this bergamot, these fresh notes. And then after a few minutes, the wooded notes are going to go up and take the let's say the citrusy notes to create some new mixtures that are a little bit sweeter on a very smoky and round, let's say, blend. I don't know if I'm describing it well.
Patchouli sounds really awesome in this fragrance, because patchouli is a different is a difficult no, it's not a difficult ingredient, but it had a difficult life, because it was very popular at the end of the century, and in time the clothes of grown-up people was smelled so much of patchouli that the perfume started associating with elderly people. For some time, patchouli wasn't very much used in perfumery because of this association. But the way patchouli is back, is that right? So I have a feeling that patchouli is
actually coming. Olga, I'm going to disappoint you a lot.
Everything I heard is just
we are never looking at trends, and especially when our like director and creator Alexandre J is a huge fan of patchouli. We need to put patchouli in all the perfumes. So whenever our perfumers are introducing what we have been working on during so many weeks, the keywords for him is there is patchouli in it.
True, that's so true, because it's not always, sometimes it's a silent note people don't talk about. You know, it's in present in many fragrances, but people don't say it's in there, but it is.
That's true.
True, yeah.
And this is a beautiful note. Either it can be heavy, but it's like rose. Patchouli is like a rose. It can be turned in so many different ways. It's always depending on the concentration, the percentage that you put in it, but the result can be completely different. You can do many combinations with patchouli that are completely different. And in this perfume, finally, at the end, you will see, Olga, this is not the patchouli that you will really have in your nose. It will be the mix between labdanum and mandarin.
Oh, interesting. Oh, it's becoming greener now that it opens.
But this is wonderful. I definitely fall in love of the men wearing it. I'm sorry, ladies, to tell you the truth.
We know the secret now.
We know all.
I will spray it on my husband tonight.
Yes. Oh my God. It will feel, oh my God, what she's in love today, even more than yesterday.
You will have to suffer. Yes.
The next one that I would like to highlight is the Majestic Amber.
Oh, let me just show it in the beautiful.
It seems that it's your favorite.
To tell the truth, I wanted to buy the Vetiver at the launch, and we liked 2 fragrances, and this was my second favorite, but it was number 1 for my husband.
Wow.
So we bought this bottle, and because I think that at the end we spent so much time together. Now during the lockdown we always stay together, so this is my way of saying I love you, just by wearing the fragrance he chose.
That's nice.
Yes, and look at this bottle. It's just extraordinarily beautiful,
and everything is made of metal and aluminium. This is very high quality packaging, and the perfume has a very nice story as well. 1920, it's also the first soliflor. So in this case, we are talking about a rose soliflor that has been orientalized little bits. So you have patchouli in it, lots. We're talking about patchouli. And you have peach that brings some sweet notes on the top. And once the peach is gone, you have this beautiful mix between rose and patchouli. But this is a really nice work around an Arabian rose. So it's why we are calling it a soliflor.
I can see peaches, and I think that peaches are flying around my head at the moment.
But this is very delicate. This is not heavy and.
But exactly, none of your perfumes is very aggressive or very bluntly smelling bluntly like one fragrance, one note. They are a very good mixture and very delicate, really, really delicate mixture of all the ingredients you mentioned. And I'm very surprised I'm very happy for patchouli, because patchouli found a very good combination of neighbors to share the same bottle. It's just a magnificent fragrance, and I love this one.
No, this is very special as well. Amélie Bourgeois has been creating it.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And finally, I wanted I wanted Majestic Oud to be the last. This is quite special. Majestic Oud, I will tell you something that a customer told me. Her name is Sahar, and she is an influencer, and she's in Dubai. I've been knowing her since the last 10 years. And Sahar told me recently, Amélie, in this perfume, there is something special. The word perfume itself is representing the story. You know, perfume means smoke, the smoke that link the earth to God so far. And we are going back to the roots of spiritualism. This perfume has some spiritual mind that is very, very interesting. And she told me, oh, it's good. I'm going to wear it because it's really create the link with the sky. And this is what I love. So there is blackcurrant on the top to bring some freshness and some sweet notes. And then it's a mix between oud, patchouli, and incense. So it's a wood without being a wood.
Exactly.
It has some freshness with the bergamot, with the blackcurrant, that is quite amazing. It's dark, but at the same time, it has some light with the blackcurrant. And the story was really to reflect the jazz club and the cotton club of 1920. So you know that in the jazz club and the cotton club, you have this smoke that go up. So it was really this idea of spiritual fragrance with the smoke that goes around all the corner.
The incense is very strong here, but not aggressive.
No.
And it's absolutely marvelous. I have a friend who is in love with all the incense fragrances, so I'm absolutely buying a present for her when I can finally go to St. Petersburg and bring her a bottle of this, because she will be in love with it. Well, so this perfume will go to her because she's a great storyteller, and I think that a good storyteller is like a priest.
Yes,
like a priest. So she's a priest woman, and she will love this perfume.
But you know, Olga, there is something very interesting also about St. Petersburg, going back to the perfume history, not my story, but the history of perfume. You know how the perfume, let's say, the use of perfume has been spread around the world?
No?
Because of the Russian Tsarina. Actually, I don't remember exactly, but I know that the European Queen have seen the trend in Russia and have been starting to wear perfume because the Russian Tsarin, they were like using it on a regular basis.
Well, you know, the problem with the Russian Tsarinas is the only one. They were never Russian. Because, for example, Catherine the Great was German, but she was a great ruler. and everybody calls her Russian Tsarina, but she was actually German. And the last Tsarina, Alexandra Fedorovna, the one who wore White Rose by Atkinson's, and she was also the granddaughter of Queen Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
So she was German, and many other princesses who were born in Russia, they had foreign mother.
I didn't know that.
So it was due to the fact that the noble families or the kings and queens could only get married to their peers. So when a Russian princess was born in Russia, there was no Russian king or prince to marry her, and they were always getting married abroad, mostly to Germans. And the same for Russian kings and princes. To find the good match, not the proper match, not the good match, the proper match on the same level, they had to go abroad. And most of the times it was Germany. So this is a really interesting story.
I didn't know that Russia and Germany had a so close story about, let's say, the descendants.
And Great Britain, because you can see that the last Russian princesses, the ones who were killed, Queen Victoria was their grandmother.
Wow.
Yes, so
the story, Olga.
Yes, so it's all interconnected, and I'm surprised that people do not speak more about it, but maybe there are political issues because you want to look to see your king as the representative of your people, not foreign people, right?
Yes,
and
some people
that's
might show some patriotism.
Yeah, so maybe for this reason, maybe because people do not care, I don't know. But when I discovered this story by researching about perfumes, I was hugely surprised. And it's like reading a novel. The perfumery appeared in Russia thanks to French people. So the first perfumers who found their fortune in Russia were Brocard and Rallet. The same Rallet who then created Chanel No. 5, so the company, I mean, not the same person, of course, but the company. So Rallet first had a huge success in Moscow. Then he returned to France much before the revolution. It was at the end of the 19th century. And a young perfumer who worked for him, for Rallet, was Ernest Beau. And Ernest Beau returned to France as well after, so because of the revolution, he returned back to France, and he met Coco Chanel. And using his old formulas he already used for a perfume in Russia, and tweaking them a little bit, he created Chanel No. 5. So maybe that's why Chanel No. 5 is excellent when you wear it in Moscow with -20. It's like drinking, it's like spraying champagne on you. It just changes a lot. The perfume itself changes a lot. So yes, we are all interconnected, and there are so many stories to tell. And I'm so happy that you could join today, because I know I followed all your videos on social media, and I know how busy you are.
Thank you so much. But we are trying, this period is not easy. We are trying to be creative and to, let's say, to just go back to the roots of what we are doing. So we keep being active. We keep going back to what we have been doing, trying to change things. And this is also a great period to just reconsider our way of being and our way of working. But thank you so much, Olga, for your time.
Thank you, and thank you for joining.
Thank you, Anjam. Thank you.
I like to listen to.
Snowdrop.
And the Snowdrops, yes. And we can say thank you to everybody else who will watch this video on YouTube,
Yes.
because it will be slightly edited, and we'll post it on YouTube. So more than welcome to watch it again.
And I hope to do another session very soon, Olga. I found your initiative very good, and thank you so much for helping the perfumers by having those.
It's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure. So have a lovely long weekend and enjoy the weather. Bye.
Take very good care. Bye bye. But it's raining now in Paris, so.
Oh no! Come to London. Come.
Yes, if the Eurostar is working, I directly go and visit you. Bye.
Bye.